Good morning. I'm Tracy. I'm going to be your guide here at the Inward Somatic Studio. Today's session is about breathing it all out. We are going to be focusing today, sorry, eyelash. That's fun, beginning of the video. We're going to be focusing today on really working on using our deep exhales, our slow, strong, focused, intentional exhales to get the most out of those really relaxed poses so that we can allow our bodies to fully relax into these stretches. There won't be a ton of poses today. Again, the focus is the breath. I'm going to walk you through somatically what I am encouraging you to be doing when I say, hey, breathe out and relax these muscles. That's what we're diving into today. So if you've been following me on this journey, if you love those words, if you've been following me on this journey and you're like, I'm breathing out and nothing's happening, we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about what is supposed to be happening when I say breathe out and relax a muscle. That's what we're doing today. So first off, let's talk about what that breath is. You take a deep breath in. Everything expands, right? Your rib cage is full, your lungs are full, your belly probably fills out. You can feel this nice stretch in your back, your shoulders go up. If you're really feeling awesome, you might stretch out and you expand into space, right? And then everything deflates. You might even go into crooked shrimp here where you're like, bleh, deflated. But everything relaxes if you're sitting. Okay, cool. Yeah, everything gets smaller, it releases, it deflates, it releases. I already said that, but that's the motion we're going for. That's the motion of the ocean here. That's what you want. And when you're in a stretching pose, especially if you've reached an end of range, you're like, I got nothing left. This is the end of my physical capacity. I cannot relax anymore. But that's when you can. And that's where the somatic, the mental part of this brain-body bridge that we're working on in our somatic yoga, that's where that comes into play. That's when we are saying, okay, hamstrings, let's say. Hamstrings, I realize you have nothing left to give. I get that. But as I relax, as I breathe out, I'm going to use that breath and I'm going to imagine that I can find a pocket somewhere in my body that can relax, that has a little bit left to give, that's holding on just a hair tightly, just a hair, just a tiny fiber. That's the mental connection. It's tiny. It's this tiny little whiff of a nothing. But those tiny whiffs of nothing actually add up to quite a lot over time. If you're worried about flexibility or, really keeping good movement as you get older, like I spend a lot of time here on the floor. I know many people my age really get concerned now about getting on the floor and staying on the floor well, because then what happens if you need to get up? I hate to say that. Oh my God, that makes me sound so old. But it holds just the same, right? Because then you're like, oh, I gotta get up. Yeah, okay. But by doing these exercises on the floor, you're giving your body ways out. You're saying, oh, hey, these muscles that just hold tight all the time, let's relax them. Let's give them a break, a chance to breathe. Hey, if you can relax, then you can work later. We're allowing the body to relax now to work later. So we're going to breathe it all out today. Side note, if anybody knows or cares, I do have socks on. It is a cold day here in Colorado, so I have my socks on. We're not doing crazy yoga stuff today. Leave your socks on. I wanted to keep my toesies warm. Stretches that we do today are suggestions only. Suggestions only today. I want to make sure that you are comfortable in your chosen stretch because we're going to be there a while. So make sure whatever you decide to get into, you can stay there. I'm going to be starting with a hamstring stretch, just like a forward fold, but sitting. Feel free to join me here. So here, we're going to bend forward. Go your range, however you want. Get there if you want. I just need a quick twist. I can feel it in my lower back. When I say quick, I mean move slowly and gently in your body, but I mean I'm not going to stay there a long time. Okay, let's go. Ugh, nose is itchy. Cricket hair up there. Do you put a nose or hair up my nose? Whatever, she doesn't care. All right, so I'm going to forward fold into these hamstrings. So I know from myself, this is not as far as my hamstrings can go, but it's my first stretch of the morning, so this is as far as they're going right now. And that first breath certainly isn't going to get me anywhere. I'm still tuning into my practice, tuning into this morning, still thinking about dropping off my daughter at school, still thinking about, I don't know, all the things, right? But as I sit here and as I breathe out, without even really getting deep into my mode here, I can already feel that those hamstrings are starting to relax. The back is starting to kind of give a little bit. And it's like, oh yeah, you can go a little deeper. I've already moved my hands to the front of my feet instead of the sides. Hey, if your hands are here, it doesn't matter. That's not the thing. Just be where you're at. Feel what you feel. Okay? That's not a competition here. It's just where you are. Know your body and know where you are day to day. So, here I am at the end of range, or so I can feel, where I feel a happy stretch, doesn't hurt, but I also know, like, if I pull, I'm going to hurt something. Hey, stop licking. People can hear you. Thank you. You're so cute. Dog tax. So now I'm going to start kind of body scanning in this position. Now, because I've done this a while for myself, dude, thank you. Yeah, you're very licky this morning. Boston's, am I right? Because I know my body, I know that I'm going to be breathing most deeply into my low back, and that is where I will be finding my personal releases. I know that's where my body is going to be feeling the release. It's not in my hamstrings, it's in my back. Your body may be completely different. Just letting you know that's where I'm going to feel it. So when I take these breaths out, the breath in matters too. So let me back up just a hair. When you take your breath in, feel that expansion. Feel where that breath goes. I've taken many yoga classes, like imagine your lungs expanding, feel the expansion in your ribs, feel that belly push out. For me, it actually like bobs my back up. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not. If your eyes are shut, that's good. Be focused on your practice, not my practice. But feel that expansion, because where it expands can also lead you to where you can relax. Because as you expand, you'll find those kind of points of tension. If you're like, oh my, that is tight there when I breathe in. That is a place you can actually focus on, and on your breath out, imagine releasing it. Imagine letting go of that balloon string. Saying, oh, you can go. I don't need you. Side note, don't release balloons in the atmosphere, folks. That's bad for the environment. Sorry, hippie tangent. And if you find a different point, like I just noticed in here as I was breathing out, there is an interesting pull happening deep underneath that I'm not sure I could really fully describe, but I'm going to try. There's some sort of interesting pull happening underneath my leg that is talking like way up here in the glute. Somebody who is better in anatomy and muscle connection could, I'm sure, tell me what that is. But it's only on the one side. It's not on both sides. It's only on one side, which I'm going to find interesting. So when I find one of those anomalies, especially if it's one-sided, that is something I'm going to note in my body, and I will take with me to my body care people, my body work people. I talk about body work people a lot because I think they're so, so, so important. If you are not visiting your PCP once a year, you should. If you are not getting a deep tissue massage at some point, you should. Chiropractor, MAT, dry needle, whatever your preferred method of body work is, I hope someone else is helping you take care of your body. I hope that for you, because bodywork people are awesome. They have so much knowledge. And the more you know about your body, the more the bodywork people can help your body feel better. So as I take note of that, I'm also going to start to kind of explore within this stretch to see if I can't isolate that feeling or stretch it if I can't work it out. So that funny tension here that's in my right, it's not my hamstring, but it's, for lack of a better terminology, because I don't have it, in the right hamstring. I'm going to say like, okay, so left hammy, you're fine. You're doing your thing. So now I'm going to start to twist and see if I can't isolate it. I usually say don't look for the pain. And I generally mean that. I'm not looking for pain here. What I'm looking for is the precise location of this twingy feeling. I'm looking to see if I can't put my body in that position where I feel it more intensely. I don't want to make it hurt. I want to feel it more intensely. And I choose those words very carefully. All right, well, that makes a cool stretch in my back. But it doesn't really do much for that twinge on the bottom of my leg. But again, more knowledge. If I want to stretch out my back, that's actually awesome. Note that for later. And I'll generally keep it kind of lateral here because I know that in this forward fold, that pulls on that funny twinge. You could come up and explore that way, but the minute I come up, I lose that twinge. But this action, holding this, amplifies that. So I'm going to hold this arm locked in this way, because again, that amplifies that funny twinge. And I'm going to start to explore. No, that side to side doesn't seem to do it. It just seems to be deep in here. So that's interesting. So that is what I'm going to take to my MAT guy, Zach. And I'm going to say, hey, Zach, interesting story. And I'm going to tell him exactly this. I'm going to say, I felt this funny twinge. This is where I feel it originating. It does seem to be related to my hamstring because it does pull through the belly of the hamstring, but it is feeling like a funny twinge kind of in the belly the belly of the glute, almost. I'll try, like, I know I'm just like feeling my butt here on camera. Fun. But I will try to find the actual point, because those muscle insertion points, especially for MAT, muscle activation techniques, if you've never heard of it, please Google it. It's fucking fascinating. It's fascinating. Sorry, YouTube. Those individual muscle groups are what they work on. They work on those individual muscle groups. So being able to pinpoint what that is a huge deal. Oh my God, giant tangent. Okay, so coming back to breathing it out. So I have found this funny spot. I am going to try to breathe through it. I am going to try to say, all right, tension, I feel you here. Well, I've done my investigation. I've looked through it. I've made my mental note for later for my bodywork person. Now I'm going to try to breathe it out. You can see I've completely just abandoned this left leg here. It's fine. So take deep breath in. I'm actually going to try to intensify this stretch on the breath in. So I'm going to lean my chest forward just a hair, not too much. I don't want to injure that hamstring. And then I'm going to really try to release and relax and allow this muscle to release. It is a psychological exercise to allow it to release. I think many people think about, ooh, we're going to have to do some hip flexors on that one, because that is all crunched up under there. I think people make the mistake of, sorry, come back around this way, of stopping short, of relaxing the muscle. It's like I'm at the end. Okay, I'm here. Okay, but are you opening yourself up to the vulnerability of allowing that muscle to release? Because if you allow that muscle to release, you are, in fact, opening yourself up to something hurting. Because sometimes when you release a muscle, it can hurt. I mean, think about it. If I'm here and I'm like, okay, I'm going to allow, sorry, my nose is kind of running. I don't know why. Let me think now. What's going to be advantageous here? If I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to allow this side of my body to just completely collapse, just completely release. Well, gee, if I do that super fast, this now fucking hurts. Well, yeah, because you weren't careful about it. Now, if I say, I'm going to release this muscle, these side benders, one at a time, okay? Let's just watch it for a second. But I'm careful, okay? And I'm supportive. And I say, it's okay. I'm supported. I'm supported. I'm supported. Oh, what a nice stretch that makes. That is a completely different experience. This is the difference I'm talking about. Okay, because I did so much of that like forward, it was a crooked shrimp kind of situation. I really want to stretch out this front body and these hip flexors. So I'm going to come up here real quick, do a cat-cow, because I just think that feels amazing. Ooh, another one I'm going to do, because I hurt my feet. I'm going to curl my toes under here and just kind of sit back and stretch the bottoms of my feet. That's all I'm stretching, is the bottoms of my feet. Kind of push on those toes a little bit. I don't know what I did, but they've been kind of crabby lately, so I'm going to listen to my toes. I got story about allowing the release to happen and that being scary. Tangent story while my toes are stretching. My daughter, who is 7, she got her ears pierced this fall, and they've been healing. And, you know, after the holidays, I was like, all right, those have been healed enough. We can probably change out your earrings now. Well, we got cheapy earrings because she's 7 and she's going to lose them. And naturally, her cute little sensitive ears got irritated. And so we went to go change them out, and they're, you know, crusty and angry. And I was going to put some nicer ones in, but, you know, they're tender, they're sore, they're inflamed. And so it hurt to put them in. And it was one of those things where I'm like, you gotta breathe through it. And you have to know that it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to put this little stud through. We have to put the stud through, otherwise the hole will close and then you will not have pierced ears anymore. If you are a girl or have pierced your ears, you know that this is a reality you have lived through. She is 7 and she has not lived through this reality yet. And that was very difficult for her. And getting through this concept of it will hurt, but you must allow it. That was very difficult. It was very difficult. And as her mother, it was heart-wrenching to be like, sorry, you also have to let me do it. She didn't have the gumption for herself to do it. Just quick cat-cow. Breathe in, drop your belly. Breathe out, arch your back. I'm going to just keep talking. She didn't have the gumption to do it herself. Bless her, she tried. She didn't quite have it. So she was asking me to help her. But then would flinch every time I tried to help her. It was very frustrating. We eventually got through it, but so much of what I was trying to help her deal with was like, you have to allow the pain to happen. You have to allow the control to be released, because otherwise, sweetheart, it's not going to happen. And what you want, i.e. pierced ears, is not a possibility. You have to allow the release. So we're going to come up into this this pose here, because this, especially if you really tuck your glutes under here, is a great hip opener, hip flexor opener. Now, people do this in many ways, and I think it kind of depends on what you want to feel. More or less, this is a runner's lunge, right? This one is more upright. Some people like to come out real up front here and kind of do this like full thing. Play with it. This is your playground. I don't care. I can't see you. Feel how you feel. Doesn't matter. I might kind of toggle and move and change. So whatever. Do yours. I might go kind of into a deeper runner's lunge myself. I think I'm going to stay kind of here today. I'm actually going to grab a block because I want to be up a little bit, but not a lot. Come here, block. Grab your blocks if you like them. Yeah, that's nice. Now this one for me is spicy. This is a hard one for me to let go on, so it's actually probably a great one for me to talk through. Especially if you're activating your glute, because that is what kind of pushes that hip flexor open. I'm going to get that other block. Lies, I want 2 blocks. Use as many blocks as you want. I don't care. Your practice. No blocks, whatever. Let's get a comfortable spot here. But yeah, allowing that pain to happen. I'm using pain loosely, okay? I don't want injure pain. I want the, it's not great, but I think this is beneficial pain. Like going to dry needling. Oh man, if you've had dry needling done and you've got some spicy spots, they come at you with that needle and you're like, please, for the love of God, do not touch me. But the truth is, the more you resist it, the more it hurts. And and the less benefit you get. If you can master the mental control to be like, I willingly accept this very sharp needle into my very angry muscles, and can willingly, on purpose, relax that muscle as the needle is driven into that muscle. It is painful, but the outcome is so much better than if you were just like fighting it the whole time. And that's what I mean when I say you have to accept the release. You have to allow the release. It's a mental yoga to allow this change to take place, to allow the tension to both exist and to release. And sometimes it's releasing tension in other parts. Like I just allowed this knee to open just a hair. I know strict practices keep this left knee in, I recognize. But I was just curious, if I allowed this knee to open just a hair, would that allow this hip flexor to find a better release? Because I'm holding quite a lot of energy to keep this knee in. And I wondered, curiosity never hurt anybody in this kind of practice, if I allowed it to open up kind of in a more of a lizard, if that allowed me to find a deeper stretch in the hip flexor. Mixed success, it's fine. Come out of that. That is tender. Move slowly if you can feel that being tender. Just a quick one. Over my toes here. I don't like doing that on the blocks. It feels too wobbly. Try to really let go of that hamstring. It wants to hold on. Try to let go of it. Mentally, intentionally release it. And I think it takes at least 3 breaths to release anything, personally. It might take upwards of 5, especially if you're new. Woo! Hello, knee. Pop. Got my mom's knees. Thanks, Mom. If you make audible noises, please let them out. Creepier sex noises, the better. If you don't know that by now, I hope you do know. I hope you learned that about me at the Inward Somatic Studio. We are proud of our creepy sex noises. Ow. Well, that is a lot tighter than the other one. Go figure. Take note of those, what's the word? I want to say discrepancies, but those differences side to side in your body. That's knowledge. That's information. Your body is compensating one way or the other. Inflammation, flexibility, or inflexibility, as it were. We're not worrying about it. We're just noting. We're trying to find the release. We're breathing through it. And try to release anything. Like, I can feel my body holding on to that hip flexor real tight, but maybe I can relax my shoulders. Relax your shoulders. I don't really care where you release the tension. I don't. The fact that you are identifying and finding tension and letting go of it, that's the part that matters. Because if you can find it in one place, that means you are strengthening that sense. You are understanding what that means, and you will find it in other parts of your body as you get better at this. That mind-body bridge is strengthening. It's getting stronger. That's that somatic bridge. That's that. Grammatically so incorrect, but it feels good to say. Come out of that. Do that little hamstring stretch. Oh, I'm going so slow because those are angry at me. Ugh. Come off my blocks because I don't like them. All right, if you're going to come over this hamstring, remember, try to mentally let go of that hamstring because it wants to hold on. Ugh, dog hairs in my nose. That's what happens when you have 3 dogs. In case anybody wondered, 4 is too many. 3 is still a lot. 2's probably right. But gosh darn it, I love dogs. Come on, hammies. Holding on real tight today. Interesting also note that nobody would notice but me. This leg, this foot is tilting out. And I don't understand. But this right leg is the one that had that twingy point in the hamstring. This is all connected, right? This is just more information. I'm noting that this right leg is doing interesting things. Those hamstrings are fighting me to relax. I know what signal I'm trying to send, but it's like it's not getting the signal, which might indicate some inflammation somewhere. So fun, these body puzzles we've got. I know what my brain is trying to do here. I'm not sure my body's cooperating, but that's okay. I know. Ugh. Cricket's gonna do her stretches too. Ugh. I know. Oh, pop. Best knees ever. Put those away in a minute. All right, so let's come back to the middle here. Let's refresh and review what we were talking about. You can sit however you'd like. If you want to do your Shavasana, your corpse pose, carry on. It makes me too sleepy. I can't do it. So when you are doing your intentional somatic yoga, as you breathe out, remember that you're building that brain-body bridge. You want to connect that message from your brain to your muscles. I want you to release. I want you to let go of that tension. I am allowing this to happen. It feels a little insane, but I promise you, it's really helpful. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more specific you can get with your messaging. Instead of like, oh, I want to relax my shoulders and everything falling, because that will happen. That will happen. It gets much more fine-tuned. Think of a toddler when they're beginning to color, right? It's like this big swoopy thing, and you're like, wow, you are not coloring in the lines, right? But as they get older, those tiny fine motor skills. This is a fine motor skill. You are, in fact, trying to talk to your motor skills, your muscles. So you'll start with big groups of muscles, and then you'll kind of start whittling down which muscles you're talking to. And before you know it, you can talk to tiny muscles that you didn't know existed before. And that's really the benefit here. So breathe out, breathe deeply, and allow the tension to release with the breath. Just like that. Thank you guys so much for joining me at the Inward Somatic Studio. Again, I'm Tracy. I was your guide, and I hope to see you next time on the mat. Thanks.